I'm Alex.
I'm James.
We're the Ragamuffins.
And these are the top 20 albums to look out for in 2022.
Avenged Sevenfold has stated several times since 2018 that they are working on a follow-up to 2016's The Stage, after mentioning they wanted to wait until touring can fully continue, and with some dates for touring planned in summer 2022, it looks extremely likely that A7X's 8th album is due for release this year.
Polish extreme metal band Behemoth have been delaying the release of their latest album, waiting for worldwide touring to resume to normality, but have said that whatever happens, 2022 will see their 12th album released to the masses.
Although Bring Me the Horizon originally planned to release 4 EPs within a year under the Posthuman project, only Posthuman Survival Horror saw release back in 2020. This turns out to be a bigger release than expected and re-established the band as leaders in the genre. 2021 saw the release of new single Die For You, which is expected to appear on the next Posthuman release, highly likely to see light in 2022.
March 2020 saw Code Orange release their 4th album, Underneath, and although this wasn't that long ago, November 2021 saw the band release a brand new single, Out For Blood. Although speculative, there is potential for another album being released in 2022 for a band who are only growing in popularity.
Counterparts released their last album, Nothing Left to Love, in 2019, and seem to have another record on the way soon. During a show right at the end of 2021, the band debuted a brand new song and have mentioned on social media of more recordings taking place, so there's plenty of potential for a new record to release this year.
Frontman of the mysterious group Ghost, Tobias Forge, revealed the band was scheduled to hit the studio during 2021, and with a series of big shows scheduled for 2022, a new album seems to be on the horizon.
Releasing their last album, Somewhere Nowhere, in October 2020, 100th look set to return in 2022 with album number 6. Starting off the year strong, January 2nd saw the band post on social media letting fans know they were hitting the studio the following week.
2019 saw I Prevail release their second album, Trauma, with the band nominated for 2 Grammy Awards from this release. They've been fairly quiet since, and with some tours booked in 2022, it's highly likely that this year we'll see new music from them.
February 4th, 2022 will see album number 14 from new metal legends Korn, with the lead single Start the Healing being released at the end of 2021. With a big sub-headline slot at Download Festival this year, expect an album to kick off the new year.
Loathe released I Let It In That Took Everything in 2020, propelling them as big names in the UK metal scene to keep an eye on. After releasing an instrumental album, The Things They Believe, in 2021, another full-length album could be on the way in 2022.
August 2021 saw Lorna Shore release the incredible EP And I Return to Nothingness. With new vocalist Will Ramos now in place and a small release under his belt, his first full-length with the band is expected for 2022, as per the band's social media.
Back in 2019, Metallica bassist Robert Trujillo mentioned in an interview that the metal giants had begun jamming new material, and in 2020 they continued putting new ideas together. They've only released 1 album during the last decade, so perhaps the 11th album will make its way to listeners this year.
For a 73-year-old legend, Ozzy Osbourne doesn't seem to be slowing down. Following his February 2020 solo album, Ordinary Man, it was revealed in July of that year that he was already working on a follow-up. November 2021 saw Sony Records announce the new album would be released within the next 6 months, giving us an expected timeline of June 2022 to hear these new songs.
It's coming up to 4 years since Parkway Drive's last release, and with vocalist Winston McCall publicly saying it is mostly written and that they were starting to record during late 2020, we could be expecting album number 7 soon.
2020 saw Polaris release their second album, The Death of Me, to much success. They've spent the time away from being able to tour to start writing album number 3, and after a few tours lined up in 2022, new music could be on its way during the latter part of the year.
The German metal band Rammstein released their Untitled 7th album in 2019, and have already recorded their follow-up. With a 2022 stadium tour scheduled in May, Richard Krusp, guitarist, said the album will release prior to this.
During the end of 2021, Slipknot emerged with a huge new tune, The Chapeltown Rag, and are in the final stages of getting their 7th album finished up and the last on their record deal. Vocalist Corey Taylor mentioned in interviews that he expects the album to be out sometime in the early months of 2022, so look out for this one soon along with some new singles.
Stick to Your Guns released their last full length back in 2017, and their only other major release was a stripped back EP in early 2021. However, in September 2021, we saw the release of a brand new track, More of Us Than Them. There certainly could be more of this from them, with new music in 2022.
Album number 9, Internal Atomics, was released by Stray From The Path in November 2019, and album number 10 will be on its way in 2022. The band wrote parts of the new album live on Twitch, and even posted back in December that they will be back with a new record this upcoming year.
2017 saw the metalcore band Veil of Maya release their 6th album, False Idol, and since then have dropped 4 brand new singles. A 7th album was recorded and scrapped back in 2019, but this hasn't stopped the band from being active with new music. Hopefully 2022 will see Veil of Maya return even bigger with a new album. So between us, Alex, looking at this list of bands, is there an album or 2 albums in particular that really stand out for you as something you're looking forward to this year?
The big one for me is Bring Me the Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Survival Horror was my favourite release that they've done to date. It feels like they're sort of basing each one off a very particular set of influences. They said that Survival Horror was a lot of metal influences. This next one's going to be a bit more emo and a bit more old school, which I'm really excited for. I think they've perfectly nailed that mix between pop elements and heavy elements without it being just radio rock. And Stray as well. I mean, every Stray album gets better. Like, I've been a fan since Anonymous, and each one has been better than the one before it, so anything they do is going to be super fun for me. What about you?
I think the obvious one is always going to be Slipknot. I think, just cutting it quick, we've both been fans of them for such a long time, and I'm always intrigued by what they put out. A second one is Avenged. I haven't been a big fan of their music since Nightmare. That was the last big release that I enjoyed, and I'm hoping that this new release will kind of get me back into them. But the main one I'm actually probably looking forward to is The Veil of Maya. I became a big fan of them during the lockdowns, really got into their music. I've enjoyed all these new songs that they've released, and very much look forward to new music coming out this year. 2021 was a phenomenal year for heavy music, and 2022 looks incredible just looking at these bands, plus there's going to be so much more. Comment down below which album you're looking forward to the most this year. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us for more information on all this music being released this year.
And why not check out our monthly podcast available on all platforms where we review the releases of that month as well as some discussions and topics in the world of heavy music, and our vlogs of all the gigs that we go to available on our channel now.